In a world where the latest iPhone or designer handbag is seen as a status symbol, it's easy to get caught up in a cycle of overspending and debt. But what if we told you that there's a way to live below your means and still enjoy a comfortable lifestyle? What if I told you that you could save more money, invest wisely, and achieve financial freedom by following just 10 simple steps? And what if I told you that these steps come from none other than Charlie Munger, the billionaire investor and legendary partner of Warren Buffett, known not only for his financial expertise, but also for his frugal lifestyle? That's right, Munger has shared his personal tips for achieving financial independence by lowering your cost of living, and we'll be discussing his top 10 simple steps for doing just that. Whether you're looking to save money, build wealth, or simply live a more fulfilling life with less, you won't want to miss this. So let's dive in. Step 1. Save aggressively. Now, I know what you're thinking. Saving aggressively? That doesn't sound like fun at all. But hear me out. Saving doesn't have to be a bad thing. In fact, it can be the first step towards achieving your financial goals and living the life you want. Munger himself is a big advocate of living below your means and saving aggressively, and he has some great advice on how to do it. So, what are some of the practical ways to save aggressively? Well, one thing that you can do is to start putting aside money that you save from not buying unnecessary items. For example, instead of going out for lunch every day, you could bring packed lunch to work and put the money you save into a savings account. Step 2. Have a budget. Having a budget is a crucial step in lowering your cost of living and achieving financial stability. Your budget should contain everything that you spend your money on, from bills to groceries to entertainment, so that you can plan and budget effectively. Many people associate budgeting with scarcity and think that having a budget means living a reduced quality of life. However, that's not the case. A budget shows you how to allocate your resources and is a very effective way to live frugally without sacrificing your quality of life. Living paycheck to paycheck is not a good idea. It leaves you vulnerable to unexpected expenses or emergencies and can cause a lot of stress. The best way to avoid this is to plan ahead and to have a budget in place. When you have a budget, you can see exactly where your money is going and make adjustments as you need to ensure that you're saving enough and living within your means. Step 3. Live below your means. Living below your means means that you're not just spending less than you earn, but also you're making conscious choices, limiting your expenses in order to build wealth and reach your financial goals. Let's be real. Living below your means can be tough, especially in a society that's constantly bombarding us with messages that we need the latest and greatest thing to be happy. Social media and advertising can make it difficult to resist the temptation to buy things that we don't need. But by making a conscious effort to live below your means, you can take control of your finances and make smart financial decisions. So, how can you live below your means? There are plenty of ways. One example is to buy quality clothing that lasts longer. It might be tempting to buy cheaper clothing that is in style right now, but investing in quality pieces can save you money in the long run, since you won't have to replace them as often. Shopping at thrift stores and garage sales is another great way to save money on clothes, furniture, and household items. And when it comes to cars, choosing a used or older model instead of the latest one can save you a lot of money. Step 4. Don't be afraid to rely on family. As the saying goes, blood is thicker than water. And during tough times like a recession, relying on family can be a lifesaver. In fact, Charlie Munger's father had his uncle move in with each other during the Great Depression to cut costs. If you're young and struggling to make ends meet, consider moving back in with your parents. Not only will it significantly reduce your expenses, but you'll also have the support of your loved ones during difficult times. Moving in with family doesn't have to mean sacrificing your independence. In fact, it can be a great opportunity to work together and build a stronger relationship with your family members. Plus, you'll have the added benefit of sharing household expenses, including rent, utilities, and groceries. This can help you live frugally and save money, which can be used to pay off debts or invest in your future. Step 5. Cut back on unnecessary expenses. Cutting back on unnecessary expenses is a critical step in lowering your cost of living. These are things that you can easily live without, and in doing so, you'll have more money to save or invest. The importance of cutting back on expenses that are not essential cannot be overstated. It's all about distinguishing between needs and wants. While it might be tempting to splurge on a fancy new gadget or subscription service, think twice before doing so. Every penny counts, and if you're not careful, those little expenses can quickly spiral out of control. There are many ways to cut back on expenses. For starters, take a look at your monthly subscriptions. Are you really using all of them? Chances are that there's at least one that you could do without. Canceling that subscription could save you hundreds of dollars over the course of a year. Another way to save is by preparing meals at home instead of eating out. Eating out is convenient, but it's also expensive. By cooking at home, you can save money and eat healthier as well. Lastly, consider cutting the cord on the cable TV. With streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime Video, you can watch your favorite shows and movies without paying a hefty cable bill each month. If you still want to watch live TV, you can purchase a digital antenna for a one-time fee. Charlie Munger has famously said, "Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. Discharge your duties faithfully and well. Step by step, you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. But you will build your discipline by preparing for fast spurts. Slug it out 1 inch at a time, day by day. And at the end of the day, if you live long enough, most people get what they deserve." Cutting back on unnecessary expenses is one way to be a little wiser each day. If you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your loved ones. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest content. Now, let's jump right back into the video. Step 6. Avoid debt. Debt can be a slippery slope, and it's important to avoid it wherever possible. Interest charges and other fees can quickly pile up, making it harder to pay off your debt and get back on track financially. Charlie Munger himself is known for being adverse to debt. Famous saying, "The first rule of fishing is to fish where the fish are. The first rule of safe banking is to stay out of dangerous waters." Charlie Munger has emphasized the importance of avoiding debt, and he's not alone in this view. Many financial experts recommend living within your means and avoiding debt as much as possible. This is especially important during tough economic times, when unexpected expenses can quickly drain your savings. Step 7. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. In today's world, social media has made it easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. Seeing posts of friends or influencers with expensive clothes, luxury vacations, or new gadgets can create a false sense of wealth and encourage us to spend more than we can afford. It's important to remember that not everything we see on social media is as glamorous as it seems, and that it's not necessary to keep up with others in order to be happy. Charlie Munger advises us to focus on our own financial goals and priorities instead of comparing ourselves to others. By living within our means and not trying to keep up with the Joneses, we can avoid falling into the trap of consumerism and debt. One way to avoid trying to keep up with the Joneses is to limit your exposure to social media and advertising. Remember that these platforms are designed to make you feel like you need something that you may not actually need. So it's crucial to be mindful of the influence that they can have on your spending habits. By staying true to your own financial goals and living within your means, you'll be able to avoid the stress and financial burden that can come with trying to keep up with others. Step 8. Keep some cash. We live in an era where digital transactions are prevalent, and it's easy to assume that credit and debit cards will always work. However, there may be times when you need physical cash. For instance, if there's a power outage, you won't be able to use digital payment methods. Also, some vendors only accept cash, especially when you're traveling. Therefore, having some cash available can be a lifesaver. Moreover, keeping cash can help you stay on track with your spending goals. When you're using digital payments, it's easy to lose track of how much you've spent, especially when you're using a credit card. However, when you have physical cash, you can see how much you have left and how much you've spent. This way, you can better manage your budget and avoid overspending. Finally, keeping cash is a habit that even the most successful investors practice. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, two of the most famous investors in the world, are big advocates of keeping cash reserves. They even mention that they like to keep billions of dollars in cash on hand for emergencies and investment opportunities. If these investing giants recognize the value of having physical money, it's definitely worth considering for anyone who wants to be financially savvy. Step 9. Go for coupons during sales. Coupons are a great way to save money on everyday items, and you can find them everywhere, from newspapers to online websites. If you're not already using coupons during sales, you're missing out on some serious savings. When you're shopping for groceries, clothing, or even electronics, it's important to take advantage of coupons and sales to save money. Keep an eye out for coupons that can be used during sales to get even better deals. One of the best ways to find coupons during sales is to sign up for loyalty programs at your favorite stores. Many retailers offer rewards programs that allow you to earn points, discounts, and exclusive coupons for future purchases. You can also sign up for email lists and social media pages for your favorite stores, as they often offer exclusive coupons and promotions to their followers. Make sure to check the expiration dates on your coupons and plan your shopping trips accordingly to get the best deals. Step 10. Embrace frugality. The last and perhaps the most important step in lowering your cost of living is to embrace frugality. Frugality is not about being cheap. It's a mindset and a lifestyle choice. It's about being intentional with your spending and making conscious decisions about where your money goes. Embracing frugality means that you're prioritizing your financial well-being and long-term goals over short-term gratification. It's about recognizing that less is often more and finding contentment in living a simpler life. Living frugally doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your happiness or give up on things that bring you joy. In fact, it can be quite the opposite. When you embrace frugality, you learn to find joy in simple pleasures and experiences. Instead of buying things that you don't need, you can focus on spending time with loved ones, exploring nature, or pursuing hobbies that bring you fulfillment. These are things that often cost little to no money, but can bring you lasting happiness. Lastly, embracing frugality can also help you achieve financial freedom and security. By living below your means and saving more of your income, you can build an emergency fund, pay off debt, and invest in your future. You'll have the freedom to make choices that align with your values, rather than being tied down by financial obligations. And when unexpected expenses do arise, you'll be better equipped to handle them without going into debt or living paycheck to paycheck. So, embrace frugality as a way of life, and you may be surprised at how much more fulfilling and rewarding it can be. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch this one as well. Thanks for watching.